Millions are unknowingly orchestrating their own sudden demise every single morning. The innocent egg isn't killing you. It's the silent, lethal assassin sitting right next to it. Discover the exact breakfast combination igniting a catastrophic chemical fire inside your veins before it's too late. In my 30 years of practicing medicine, the most terrifying tragedies I have witnessed did not begin with a sudden, catastrophic heart attack or a late-stage diagnosis in a sterile hospital room. They began quietly in the kitchen, bathed in gentle morning sunlight, on a perfectly ordinary day. Patients sit across from me, their bodies slowly failing, their arteries hardening into brittle stone, their kidneys quietly suffocating, all while looking me dead in the eye and saying, "But doc, I eat a healthy breakfast every single morning." They are unwittingly orchestrating their own systemic demise, consuming what they believe is the foundation of vitality, entirely blind to the toxic chemical fire they are igniting inside their veins. This is the paradox that keeps me awake at night. You are eating the humble, nutrient-dense egg, a food that has sustained human civilization for millennia, yet your blood pressure is creeping up, your cholesterol panels are a disaster, and your inflammatory markers are screaming. Canada Senior Health Guide 04 warmly welcomes you to a medical revelation that might quite literally save your life today. Before we pull back the curtain on this silent assassin hiding on your breakfast plate, I strongly urge you to hit the subscribe button right now. Your subscription is the vital heartbeat that supports this channel, empowering us to continue exposing the medical truths that can rescue your golden years from the grip of chronic disease. For decades, you have been ruthlessly lied to. You have been told to fear the egg, to throw away the yolk, to blame this perfect capsule of bioavailable protein, brain-nourishing choline, and essential vitamins for your declining health. Today, I am entirely vindicating the egg. The terrifying truth. The reality that is aggressively accelerating your aging process and destroying your vital organs has absolutely nothing to do with the egg itself. The true danger lies entirely in the catastrophic biochemical environment you are forcing your digestive tract and bloodstream to endure based on the specific foods you are pairing with that egg. Before I reveal the exact combinations that are corroding your biology from the inside out, I need to know the specific demographic of the community I am trying to save today. Please, drop down into the comments right now and type the word EGGS followed by your age. Whether it is EGGS 68 or EGGS 72, this simple act allows me to tailor my future clinical insights directly to the specific stage of life you are currently navigating. To grasp the sheer magnitude of the damage being done, you must first confront a harsh, undeniable biological reality. The body you are living in after the age of 60 is profoundly different from the machine you operated in your 30s. There are three core physiological barriers, three silent but monumental shifts in your internal biology that dictate the line between vibrant longevity and a tragic, premature decline. First, we must look at the hidden struggle of your kidneys. Imagine your kidneys as an incredibly sophisticated, delicate water filtration plant, relying on millions of microscopic filters called nephrons to scrub your blood of daily toxins and waste. By the time you reach your 60s, after decades of relentless, unyielding labor, this exquisite filtration system has naturally lost roughly 30 to 40% of its peak efficiency. This is not a disease. It is the inescapable tax of time. But it means your safety margin has utterly vanished. The heavy load of chemical additives and synthetic minerals that your youthful kidneys could once effortlessly flush away now becomes a suffocating, toxic burden, poisoning your system from within. Second, you must conceptualize the physical deterioration of your arterial walls. In our youth, the endothelial lining of our blood vessels is like a brand new, perfectly elastic rubber band, expanding effortlessly with every single heartbeat. But after 60 years of mechanical wear, minor oxidative stress, and cellular exhaustion, the collagen and elastin that give your arteries their life-saving resilience begin to degrade. Your arteries become stiff, rigid, and deeply vulnerable. In this compromised state, any systemic inflammation or microscopic plaque formation does not just harmlessly exist. It actively chokes off your blood flow, turning your vascular system into a ticking time bomb and setting the perfect stage for a fatal cardiovascular event. Third, and perhaps the most devastating, is the severe deceleration of your insulin response and the resulting nightmare of chronic inflammation. As we age, our cells naturally become resistant to the insulin required to shuttle glucose out of the blood. Your pancreas struggles, pumping out more and more insulin, while the glucose lingers, turning your once fast-flowing bloodstream into a thick, sticky, slow-moving river. When inflammation inevitably sparks from processing refined or chemical-laden companion foods, your aging immune system reacts with clumsy desperation. The microscopic fire department arrives incredibly late to the scene and leaves the inflammatory hoses running long after the threat is gone, trapping your entire body in a state of chronic, low-grade, simmering inflammation. When you take a nutrient-dense powerhouse like an egg and carelessly throw it into this vulnerable, aging ecosystem alongside the wrong companion foods, you are not just eating a bad meal. You are deliberately throwing a biochemical wrench into 3 failing physiological systems, creating a perfect, inescapable storm of oxidative stress that your post-60 body simply cannot survive. To understand exactly how this catastrophic failure is triggered, we must shine a glaring light on the most beloved, universally accepted, and deeply lethal breakfast companion: ultra-processed meats. When you place a beautifully cooked egg next to a sizzling strip of bacon, a fried sausage patty, or a thick slice of glazed ham, you are not creating a hearty morning meal. You are initiating a profound endothelial nightmare. For decades, I have watched patients defend this classic pairing as a harmless indulgence, completely unaware of the violent biochemical shrapnel they are swallowing. The danger here is not simply about fat or calories. Ultra-processed meats are heavily cured, smoked, and saturated with synthetic nitrates, nitrites, and a staggering burden of refined sodium. When these chemical preservatives enter the aging, compromised environment of a post-60 digestive tract, they undergo a dark transformation. As they mix with your stomach acid and the bioavailable proteins of the egg, these nitrates mutate into nitrosamines, which are aggressive, highly documented carcinogens that actively corrode cellular DNA. But the immediate, acute terror unfolds within your vascular system and your kidneys. Remember the delicate water filtration plant we discussed? The massive, sudden influx of sodium from processed meats forces your already exhausted nephrons into a state of sheer panic. To flush this toxic salt load, your kidneys must drastically increase the pressure within your vascular system. Your blood volume swells, slamming forcefully against the rigid, unyielding walls of your aging arteries. This mechanical trauma causes microscopic tears in the delicate endothelial lining. If you were eating the egg alone, its pristine cholesterol would float harmlessly through your veins, acting as a vital building block for hormones and brain tissue. But in the presence of this violent vascular tearing, the body frantically tries to patch the damage. It grabs the cholesterol from the egg and spackles it into the wounded arterial walls. Furthermore, processed meats are teeming with advanced glycation end products, appropriately abbreviated as AGs. These are highly reactive, toxic compounds formed when meats are heavily processed and cooked at high temperatures. When AGs flood your bloodstream, they act like microscopic blowtorches, scorching your blood vessels and triggering an aggressive, systemic inflammatory response. The macrophages, your immune system's cleanup crew, rush to the scene of the damaged, cholesterol-patched arterial walls, engulfing the fat and dying in the process. This creates foam cells, the very foundation of lethal atherosclerotic plaque. By pairing your egg with bacon or sausage, you have weaponized the egg's inherent nutrients. You have taken a life-giving source of choline and amino acids and forced it into a toxic marriage that rapidly accelerates the calcification of your heart's primary supply lines. The egg is not to blame for the heart attack. The blame lies entirely with the synthetic, salt-laden, chemically preserved meat that turned your cardiovascular system into a raging, inflamed war zone before you even finished your morning coffee. But the devastation wrought by processed meats is only the opening act in this morning tragedy, rapidly compounded by the devastating arrival of the second staple on your plate: refined carbohydrates. If I could point to a single dietary delusion that has filled more hospital beds and shattered more golden years than any other, it is the deeply ingrained belief that a plate of eggs requires a foundation of white toast, commercial hash browns, or a towering stack of syrupy pancakes. You might believe you are merely adding comfort and energy to your morning, but biologically, you are igniting a glycation inferno that suffocates every cell in your aging body. When you consume deeply processed, fiber-stripped carbohydrates alongside a nutrient-dense egg, you are creating a metabolic disaster that directly exploits the severe deceleration of your insulin response. Let me walk you through the precise anatomy of this disaster. White bread, commercial pastries, and starchy potatoes that have been stripped of their natural skins and fiber are essentially pre-digested sugars. The moment they hit your saliva, they dissolve into pure, unadulterated glucose, crashing into your bloodstream like a tidal wave. For a body over 60, whose cells are already fiercely resistant to insulin, this glucose tsunami is devastating. Your pancreas screams into overdrive, desperately pumping out massive quantities of insulin to clear the sugar, but the cellular doors remain stubbornly shut. your blood rapidly transforms from a swift, life-giving current into a thick, highly acidic, syrupy sludge. Now, consider the egg floating in this sticky, toxic river. The egg yolk is a treasure trove of delicate lipids, fat-soluble vitamins, and pure cholesterol. In a healthy, low-sugar environment, these lipids are smoothly transported to your brain to prevent cognitive decline and to your eyes to ward off macular degeneration. But bathed in a highly concentrated glucose bath, these fragile fats undergo a terrifying chemical reaction called lipid peroxidation. The soaring blood sugar molecules physically attach themselves to the proteins and fats of the egg in a chaotic, unstructured bonding process. This is glycation. It is the exact same chemical process that causes a sliced apple to turn brown and rot when left on the counter. You are literally oxidizing and rotting the life-giving nutrients of the egg right inside your veins. This oxidized cholesterol is no longer recognized by your body as a building block. It is recognized as a deadly, foreign invader. Your immune system sounds a deafening alarm, unleashing a cascade of inflammatory cytokines that flood your joints, your brain, and your heart. This is why you feel that profound, heavy lethargy 2 hours after breakfast. This is why your joints ache and your brain feels trapped in a dense fog. You have forced your digestive system to process high-quality dietary fat in the presence of sky-high, unmanageable spikes of blood sugar. It is the biological equivalent of pouring gasoline onto a smoldering fire. The carbohydrates hijack the egg, transforming its healing fats into sticky, oxidized plaques that aggressively clog your microvasculature, quietly starving your brain of oxygen and pulling you one step closer to irreversible dementia and profound metabolic collapse. Even if you banish the bacon and abandon the white toast, your pristine egg remains in mortal peril if you unknowingly drown it in the silent, amber-colored poison lurking right inside your frying pan. There is a silent, almost invisible destroyer that has infiltrated our kitchens, masquerading under the guise of heart-healthy cooking mediums. I am talking about industrial seed oils, canola, soybean, corn, and sunflower oils, alongside their solid, highly processed cousin, margarine. When you drop a fresh, organic egg into a frying pan shimmering with these highly unstable oils, you are orchestrating an oxidative avalanche that fundamentally alters the molecular structure of your food before it ever touches your lips. This is a tragedy of modern food engineering, a profound betrayal of your health that occurs at the molecular level. To understand why this is so deadly for the post-60 body, you must understand the volatile nature of polyunsaturated fats. Industrial seed oils are extracted using extreme heat, immense pressure, and harsh chemical solvents like hexane. By the time they are bottled and placed on your supermarket shelf, they are already severely damaged, teetering on the edge of complete rancidity. When you pour these oils into a hot pan, the heat shatters their fragile chemical bonds, unleashing a massive, terrifying swarm of free radicals. Free radicals are essentially biological vandals, unstable molecules missing an electron, desperately tearing through your biology to steal an electron from healthy cells, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. When you fry an egg in these toxic oils, the pristine, saturated, and monounsaturated fats within the yolk act like a sponge, absorbing millions of these free radicals. You are no longer eating a healing egg. You are consuming a highly oxidized, inflammatory bomb. Once swallowed, this toxic payload bypasses your already weakened defenses and infiltrates your cellular membranes. The cell membranes in a healthy body are fluid and dynamic, allowing nutrients in and waste out. But when constructed from oxidized seed oils, these membranes become stiff, rigid, and profoundly dysfunctional. Your cells begin to suffocate from the inside out. For the aging body, this cellular suffocation is the root cause of the silent, simmering inflammation we discussed earlier. Your liver becomes fatty and sluggish, desperately trying to filter out these unrecognizable, synthetic fats. Your mitochondria, the microscopic power plants inside your cells that give you energy and vitality, are deeply damaged by the oxidative stress, leading to profound, inescapable fatigue. You might look at your plate and see a simple fried egg, but your biology experiences an overwhelming toxic assault that degrades your DNA, accelerates cellular aging, and pushes your immune system into a state of chronic, exhausting overdrive. You are taking nature's most perfect multivitamin and deep frying it in a liquid poison that guarantees your body will spend the rest of the day fighting a losing battle against systemic inflammation. You do not, however, have to abandon the egg to this landscape of culinary despair. Instead, you must learn to surround it with the biochemical armor it requires to heal you. The profound tragedy of modern nutrition is not that we have eaten the wrong foods, but that we have forgotten how to honor the right ones. The egg is not your enemy. It is an irreplaceable ally in the fight against aging, sarcopenia, and cognitive decline, provided you learn how to liberate its power. To reverse the damage, to heal the rigid arteries, soothe the exhausted kidneys, and calm the raging fires of inflammation, we must entirely reimagine the breakfast plate. We must transition from a paradigm of oxidative stress to a protocol of deep, systemic restoration. First, we must change the medium of preparation. Banish the industrial seed oils to the garbage bin where they belong. Instead, cook your eggs in a generous spoonful of extra virgin olive oil, pure grass-fed butter, or unrefined coconut oil. These are stable, ancient fats. Extra virgin olive oil, in particular, is brimming with polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that act as a microscopic shield. When you cook an egg in olive oil at a gentle, low heat, the polyphenols protect the delicate cholesterol in the yolk from oxidizing. You are physically wrapping the egg in a protective, anti-inflammatory armor that actively heals the endothelial lining of your blood vessels rather than tearing it apart. Next, we must replace the toxic load of processed meats and refined carbohydrates with companions that actively assist your aging digestive tract. Introduce dark, leafy greens to your morning ritual. A handful of spinach, arugula, or kale, lightly sautéed alongside your eggs, provides a massive infusion of potassium and magnesium. These crucial minerals act as a gentle, natural diuretic, flushing away cellular waste and dramatically reducing the burden on your aging kidneys, allowing your blood pressure to naturally stabilize. Furthermore, the immense volume of dietary fiber in these greens acts as a metabolic brake pedal. It coats the lining of your stomach, severely slowing the absorption of any carbohydrates you consume. This means no glucose tsunami, no frantic insulin spikes, and no deadly glycation of the egg's pristine fats. If you crave richness, look to the avocado. The monounsaturated fats in an avocado perfectly complement the bioavailable protein of the egg, providing deep, sustained satiety that signals your brain to turn off the hunger switch for hours. This magnificent combination provides the exact precursors your brain needs to synthesize acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter responsible for memory, focus, and mental clarity. By curating your plate with gentle, low-glycemic, antioxidant-rich companions, you are transforming the egg from a potential hazard into a therapeutic intervention. You are providing the aging machine of your body with the exact raw materials it needs to repair cellular damage, lubricate stiff joints, and reverse the creeping tide of chronic disease. In my clinic, I do not tell my patients to stop eating eggs. I tell them to stop punishing the egg with the toxins of modern convenience. Your 60s, 70s, and beyond do not have to be a slow surrender to illness and fatigue. By making these profound, yet incredibly simple shifts in your morning routine, you reclaim control over your biology. You extinguish the chemical fires inside your veins, and you give your body the profound gift of healing. I urge you, starting tomorrow morning, to look at your plate not just as a meal, but as a deeply personal medical decision, one that holds the power to breathe vibrant, unbroken life back into your golden years. The journey to vibrant health in our later years does not require us to abandon the foods we love, but rather to rescue them from the toxic landscape of modern dietary habits. The egg, long unfairly demonized, is an extraordinary source of life-giving nutrients, essential fats, and brain-protecting compounds. The true culprits behind cardiovascular decay, systemic inflammation, and metabolic collapse are the insidious companions we place beside it. The nitrate-laden processed meats that shred our endothelial lining, the refined carbohydrates that trigger glycation and oxidize cholesterol, and the highly unstable industrial seed oils that drown our cells in an avalanche of free radicals. By completely removing these dietary assassins from your morning routine, you instantly halt the daily chemical warfare occurring within your veins. Instead, by pairing your eggs with ancient, stable fats like extra virgin olive oil, fiber-rich leafy greens, and nutrient-dense avocados, you transform your breakfast from a daily hazard into a powerful therapeutic intervention. This shift is not about deprivation. It is about profound cellular restoration. It allows your aging body to finally stop fighting dietary inflammation and redirect its energy toward repairing DNA, soothing exhausted kidneys, and protecting cognitive function. Your daily plate is a profound medical decision, and by making these mindful changes, you are actively choosing to rewrite the narrative of your aging process, ensuring that your golden years are defined by enduring vitality, sharp mental clarity, and an unshakable foundation of genuine health. The most crucial realization we must accept is that food does not exist in isolation. The biological impact of a nutrient-dense whole food can be entirely weaponized or beautifully enhanced depending on its culinary companions. Modern convenience has normalized a daily routine of chemical violence against our own biology. The true danger lies not in nature's whole foods, but in the highly processed, industrialized elements we carelessly mix them with, turning potential healing into systemic destruction. Take immediate inventory of your kitchen to implement this protocol tomorrow morning. First, throw away all industrial seed oils, canola, vegetable, soybean, and corn oil, and replace them with high-quality extra virgin olive oil, grass-fed butter, or unrefined coconut oil. Second, eliminate ultra-processed breakfast meats like bacon and sausage, and swap your morning white toast for a handful of lightly sautéed dark leafy greens and fresh avocado. Finally, cook your eggs gently on low heat to protect their delicate fats, turning your first meal of the day into a powerful, anti-inflammatory shield. What do you usually pair with your morning eggs, and which healthy swap are you going to try tomorrow? Please leave your answers in the comment section below so we can all share ideas and learn from each other's experiences. If you found this information valuable and want to take back control of your health, please subscribe to the channel. Your support gives us the motivation to keep creating deep, life-changing content for you.